I've got you here. I've got to ask, I mean, before our time runs out here, you're a seasoned, thoughtful, and unselfish academic. I'm sure you have a lot of advice for people who are in our conversation today. Your advice for young scholars
Mm.
about developing their careers, perhaps best practices. If you can offer some words of wisdom
Yeah,
on that as well, that'll be great.
you can approach that in a number of ways. I mean, I could give very practical advice, but that's advice you can often find in on fora or in career guides. But I would like it to take it a little broader in a sense. And for me, what is most important is in academia to do this job because you have a passion for it. Do this job because you want to realize your own ideas, your passion, whether that's in the teaching area or the research area or the leadership area. I encounter a lot of academics, especially in business schools, obviously, who like to compare themselves with CEOs or consultants and start to complain that, well, I don't earn nearly as enough as in academia because these people earn much more. I think that's not a very productive way of having an academic job. I think it's really more productive to see yourself as an artist, a creative, creating things. And I think we have a wonderful job because despite all of the constraints and despite all of the things that might be happening in academia that we're not so happy with, we still have a lot more freedom than most other careers. So try and use that freedom to really make a difference. And that will make your daily life so much easier because if you know why you are doing things, if you know you're doing it because you have a passion to make a difference, then your job becomes a lot easier. I must also say, though, that you talked about happiness. I think it's also about fit, the fit between you and your institution, and the fit between you and your supervisors and mentors. So I would say find your happy place. Don't go for a supervisor because they're necessarily the top academic in the field, because they're famous. Go for someone who fits with your personal values and sees the benefit of working with you. Don't necessarily always aim to work at the most prestigious institution that you can aim for if that doesn't fit with your own personal values, because you can be very unhappy in an institution if there is no fit. Kind of have a passion, find your happy place, but also don't compare yourself with others all the time. We tend to do that a lot as academics. It's like, they're at this stage of their career. I'm too, they've done this, I've done that. Am I good enough? I don't think that's very productive because every career is different. Everyone's life circumstances are different. So you shouldn't measure your success by comparing yourself to others. Because you don't know how they achieved that success. It might have been pure brilliance or hard work, but it might have been pure luck. Or they might have had a privileged background, growing up in a country where they had access to excellent education. Or maybe they had to sacrifice a lot in their personal life to achieve what they did. So don't model yourself on others as long as at the end of every year, you've become better than you were at the start of the year. At the end of your career, you've achieved your goals. You've done well. So I think that's probably my 3 tips. Have a passion, find your happy place, and don't model yourself on others.